Okay. First item of business, motion to approve the March 21st board meeting, subject to correction by the motion by Mr. Stringer, second by Ms. Turner. Any corrections? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'm going to open up to privilege of the floor and public comment. And Lisa Adamson would like to address us on climate. Yes, yep. Thanks.
I really want to thank you all for letting us come and report on what we're trying to do as far as disseminating some support and information around climate. I'm representing my friend and partner, Diane Collins, who many of you know, and we have a team that we're calling CAT, the Climate Action Team. And I think that for Diane and myself, we're just really alarmed by the chaos on the global and national scene and worried that climate action is going to take a back seat to all the chaos. We have federal agencies that monitor and provide climate data, like the EPA, NOAA, and the Department of the Interior, that are being dismantled. I read recently that some of our FEMA funds to New York State are also being cut. And we are concerned that even on state level, the governor and the legislature are perhaps moving too slowly to implement our climate bill. So our conclusion is that climate action will continue to have to fall to local and municipal and county. And we thank the county very much for what it's already doing to become involved in climate action. And we urge each municipality, if you haven't already, to be aware of and to engage the NYSERDA and the DEC generated state programs of the climate smart communities and the clean energy communities. I think Diane originally had this idea that the supervisors might be in the best position to engage their residents in their community in discussion and brainstorming around climate action, and actually bring to the table and bring to their boards salient information about what their concerns are and what they see could be included in mitigation and adaptation. And so what we're going to do, and thank you to Nancy Turner for allowing us to come to the environmental committees regularly, is to come and offer our support, not as experts. Neither of us think that we're experts, but as two people that feel we could provide some information about advisors that we're hearing about. The town of Queensbury recently had a really excellent webinar on ways to inform the community about renewable incentives and rebates. So we're in touch with that kind of information, and we could support supervisors that might call together, inform a task force of people in their residents. We also feel the supervisors are in a good position to inform their community about what you might have included in your town comprehensive plans and your coding, like low impact development coding. You might either ask for us to help you with information about audits that could be, gotten to your residents, and to help find out information on grants and funding that the municipalities are eligible for, and what enhancements you might consider for your fleets and your vehicles, your lighting. And the town of Queensbury recently engaged in electric landscaping capacity. A citizen task force could also help look at the, you could take a look at some of the bills that are at the state level and analyze how maybe if we pressure and lobby, how some of these bills could really help our communities, both economically and with increased capacity. I guess the hope would be that in engaging your residents, it might also help to cohese a community in certain ways where there's already a lot of divide, and just give residents agency in helping to express concerns about climate and climate related. And that would include pollution and issues like composting and recycling, to address those issues. Ben brought to my attention to announce to you all, and you may know about it, but tomorrow at the Crandall Library, and this would be a climate adjacent, but it's connected to the Zero Waste Warren County Committee and the Climate Smart Community Committee efforts. But there's a repair cafe at the Crandall tomorrow, and what you do is it says, bring your clean items to be repaired. You can have 2 to 3 items per person. And we have a volunteer team of people that will do like sewing and small appliances, and you work with a repair coach to diagnose and fix your item. There's no guarantee your item will be fixed, but people will try. And so this is Zero Waste Warren County. We're doing 3 to 4 of them this year. I also want to announce that the town of Queensbury has a reuse shed at the Ridge Road transfer station that's just gotten started, but it looks like it's gathering energy. It's very popular. I know that Lake George has one. But has it been successful?
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. And other, I think Chestertown has one. Yeah. Okay, so these are the kinds of things that at a very basic level we can all be doing. So again, thank you for Diane and I are going to come quarterly to the Board of Supervisors meeting and update you, and we're going to come regularly to the environmental meeting.
Just in response, if you could put together a little sheet with some bullet points on things
Sure.
that you want the towns maybe to concentrate on and give them to Nancy.
Okay.
And then she can get them out through her committee and to us. And then, because I think we're all working on different
Yes.
climate things. I know we're changing our streetlights over, and I know there was an MS4 meeting coming up about flooding and some of those things. So we're all working on them, but probably wouldn't hurt to just do a little sheet with some bullet points.
Great idea. Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for letting us come and talk.
Okay, anybody else public comment before we go into the meeting? Chairman's report.
Yeah, my brother
Alright.
had one in New Hampshire.
So our report is obviously the 21st last month, I attended the Board of Supervisors. The 24th, I attended all the committee meetings. The 25th, I attended committee meetings. The 26th, I went to the APA local government meeting, and that was held in Warrensburg. On the 27th, we went to, with some of my fellow supervisors, went to the intercounty legislative meeting in Saratoga County, and I happened to be at the Racing Museum, which was really informative, and we had another good meeting. And the 28th, I did the legislative rules, personnel, administration, higher education, and finance and budget committee meetings. And then on the 10th, which was Tuesday, attended the crime victim ceremony down here to Municipal Center in the Supreme Court chambers. And that's my report. So we'll start out with Nathan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 145 and 146 are from our March 25th meeting of Economic Growth and Development. 145 is seeking to designate the county planner as the certifying officer responsible for the environmental review process for our CDBG project. 146 is seeking to apply for up to $1 million in grant money, 10% local match. This is the state's Unplug and Play initiative related to local parks. It could be used for town parks or county facilities, including the fish hatchery. Our next meeting is Tuesday, April 22nd. I'll also note that our Workforce Development Department is going through their spring circuit of job fairs. March 18th, Queensbury High School. March 27th, North Warren Central. March 27th, Glens Falls High School. April 16th, next week, YMCA in Glens Falls. Johnsburg Central on April 24th, and Warrensburg Central on April 29th. I went to the Black Bear Job Fair at Glens Falls, and it was awesome. 24 speakers for all students in high school. All 4 grades participated all at the same time. Thank you.
Vice Thomas.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finance and Budget Committee, March 28th. From that is, I believe, 10 resolutions. Resolution 138, supplemental appropriations for Park and Rail, and also for DPW. 139 amends the 2025 county budget with additional revenue and appropriation for countryside adult home, county administrator, county clerk, office of emergency management, park, correct and railroad. And 162, restores $986 in one county clerk's budget. From the general fund balance for a disorder. 163 appropriates $150,637.62 from the vehicle reserve to 6 departments. 164 also restores $4,500 to the county clerk's budget. The funds were encumbered in 2024 from the general fund. It's coming from the general fund balance. 165 establishes the 2025 road fund projects for 2025. In the amount of $5,911,500. 166 authorizes the treasurer to close H 395 Oxbow Hill Road and Moon Hill Road project and return $28,558.15 to county road transfers. Resolution 167 is increasing the capital project H 425 Adirondack Bridge and Beaver Road Bridge replacement and authorizes the transfer of $178,607.40. 168 authorizes the appropriation of $361,123 from the opioid settlement restricted fund balance and $129,912 from the opioid settlement unrestricted fund balance to the Office of Community Services and Mental Health budget to cover the costs incurred from the impact of opioids in Warren County. And the last one, 169 appropriates $11,536 from the debt service reserve to the treasurer's budget to cover the cost of bond total debt service, which was more than was budgeted. The only other thing I would mention is the latest sales tax report was not favorable for us. Hopefully that doesn't continue. And I think it tends to be that way this time of year, so hopefully that's what it is. And the next meeting is on May 1st.
Supervisor Conover.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Public Works met on March 25th. Represented in your packet, resolutions 152 through 156. They're all very straightforward. My only comment would be to remind the supervisors that they are entitled to piggyback on the pavement markings contract that the county is about to award. And that contract also includes parking lines as well, parking handicap lines, which perhaps a lot of supervisors, some supervisors may be aware of. So it's a good way to get things done. That concludes my report.
Supervisor Mayday.
Chair of the Justice, Public Safety and Emergency Services meeting. 142, basically these two are this extension of contracts for assigned counsel, for family court conflicts, and then 143 is for assigned counsel appellate cases, and then 144 is a support emergency services appointing members of the Warren County Fire Advisory Board for the Office of Emergency. Fairly quickly.
Supervisor Diamond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No reports today.
Supervisor Gilgan.
No report.
Supervisor Turner.
Yes, thank you. The Environmental Concerns Real Property Tax Committees did not meet in March, but we will be meeting on Monday, April 21st.
Supervisor Bruno.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. County facilities met on March 25th, and there are two resolutions in your packet here, 157 and 158. Or wait a minute, that's personnel. 140 and 141. 140 is awarding a bid and authorizing agreement with current generator services for generator maintenance for various Warren County facilities. 141 is authorizing lease agreement, with Cornell Cooperative Extension. That is a yearly lease. This new contract not to exceed $32,000 for the year, payable in 4 installments of $8,000. Both of those are pretty straightforward, and I hope you will support them. Our next meeting is April 22nd at 9 a.m. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Supervisor Driscoll.
Thank you, Chairman. The Human Services Committee met, very short meeting. Coming from that was just one resolution. It was regarding an appointment to the Warren County Youth Bureau. The next meeting will be on Monday, April 21st, on or about, I think it's 9:45 or something like that. DSS will be featured at that meeting. This has been a very busy month for social services. In addition to their regular duties and responsibilities, Commissioner Mastriani has been interviewed by all kinds of media regarding a variety of issues important to our residents. That includes childcare, Head Start, Medicaid and Medicare, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, the Home Energy Assistance Program, as well as issues that our veteran services and youth services have had to address. I truly appreciate the fact that our department heads, collaborating with our administrators, are really helping to educate and inform the public about all the moving parts that are going on out there. It's not a partisan issue. It's basically an issue that people just need to know what's going to happen tomorrow, what could possibly be happening tomorrow. And I think that our communications director and others have really been putting that out to the public. We're about transparency and educating, informing the people, and we've done a great job with that. This weekend, I'll be attending the Harrison Freer Rotary 5K run and walk. I'll be walking. And then after that, I'm going down to over to the remote area medical healthcare clinic in Hudson Falls. That's available for all people from the Tri-County region and beyond, providing free dental care, eye care, as well as a few other things I'll be tabling at that event. And then on March 29th, there was a full house of individuals at the Park Theater for the ARIC, Adirondack Regional Immigration Coalition meeting. That group, chaired by Dr. Leach, has had regular communications with our county administrator, Sheriff's Department, our sheriff, Workforce Development Director, as well as DSS. Again, communication is key to planning for the future, for tomorrow and down the road. When you don't communicate, you react to emergencies and crisis. So I commend and laud our leadership here at the county for continuing those communications with those officials. Thank you.
And I would say, Ben, our DSS commissioner, she's on top of everything.
Right.
She gets right out there when something may impact our residents, and she's always been right there beginning it. Make sure you tell her we appreciate that. Supervisor Paget.
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Hey, Supervisor Drossy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to thank Supervisor Mayday for chairing the last Public Safety, Criminal Justice, Emergency Services Committee meeting. Our next meeting will be on Monday, April 21st at 9 a.m. I also want to recognize and appreciate the first proclamation that we have on our agenda is a proclamation for April 13th to the 19th, designating the week as Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, better known as our dispatchers in our 911 communication center. They operate 24/7, and they're an incredible group of men and women that we're indebted for their personal and collective services. And lastly, Supervisor Running could not be here today, but she'd like to report that the Tourism Committee last met on March 24th. There's no related resolutions on today's agenda. The next Tourism Committee meeting will take place on Monday, April 21st at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Bean,
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Casito,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Occupancy Tax Coordination Committee met on March 24th. There's 3 resolutions in front of us today. First resolution, 149, approving the 2025 occupancy tax spending plan for municipalities and authorizing agreements for tourism promotion and tourist and convention development services. The breakdown of that distribution is in our packets if you want to take a look at that. The next 2 resolutions, 150 and 151, just represent that Loud Media sold to Sticks Media. So 150 is rescinding resolution number 54 of 2024, which authorized an agreement with Loud Media for tourism revitalization and rejuvenation services. 151 is authorizing agreement with Sticks Media to create a weekly Warren County radio feature that airs twice daily during prime listenership for the tourism department. Our next meeting will be on April 21st at 10:40. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Supervisor Merlino,
No report, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Supervisor Stroud,
Yeah, Legislative Rules and Governmental Operations Committee met on March 28, 2025. I have 2 resolutions before you, 147, 148. 147 is the that we are declaring confidence along with the Adirondack in the Adirondack Park Agency for Barbara Rice as Executive Director. And 148 is a rejection of National Grid's proposed rate increases for electric and natural gas. And I just want a big thank you because on March 28th, Friday, I was privileged to drop the puck for Kick the Cancer effort at the Civic Center. And I'm proud to have done that. Thank you.
thank you. Supervisor Wild,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Personnel, Higher Education and Administration met on March 28th. 5 resolutions before the board today. 157 is creating and deleting a position in IT. 158 is creating a position in the Treasurer's Office. 159, 60, and 61 are basically just policy changes and updates that we have related to meeting, conferences, smoking, tobacco, cannabis, and substance abuse. And I would appreciate your support and discussion on each and every one of these.
Supervisor McGowan,
No report.
Supervisor Strainer,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On February 27th, Health Services met and we have no resolutions.
Report of County Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the 28th of March, and Supervisor Stroud mentioned this, well, but a number of us were also on a WNYT Channel 13 live show that was broadcast from the Civic Center. And they're good friends to Warren County, and they did a fabulous job covering all topics from tourism in Warren County to things going on in the city of Glens Falls. And we appreciate their support all the time. On the 1st of April, I met with the Lake George Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, had a great discussion on occupancy tax use and challenges chamber members are facing now and leading into the busy summer session. I agreed to attend their meetings on a bi-monthly basis to continue the dialogue on how we use occupancy tax. On the 1st of April, Look TV did a session, Look TV did a session this week on our conversation with the county sessions, where we provide opportunities for residents to engage with the county and ask questions, give us suggestions, whatever. We had one in Chestertown a couple weeks ago. Next one is April 29th at the Queensbury Municipal Center, 6 p.m. Look forward to seeing people there. On the 3rd of April, we had our first housing task force meeting that was set up by our planning office. It's attended by municipal planners, EDC, IDA, and the Glens Falls Housing Authority. Glens Falls Housing Authority was something we didn't know that much about, and we learned a tremendous amount from them. So we appreciated their attendance. This is the first meeting, came out of the housing study, the housing strategy we have, and the comprehensive plan. And we're going to continue to meet quarterly to do what we can to help with housing efforts across the county. On the 9th of April, Treasurer Christine Norton hosted a session sponsored by the Lake George Regional Chamber of Commerce about the new short-term rental tax law. And she did just a fabulous job explaining what's a very complex implementation. It was really straightforward and got rave reviews. 10th of April, I presented a talk to the Empire State Safety Association. It was a keynote address on establishing a safety culture in municipal workforces. And despite what Chairman Garrity questioning what I knew about safety, the session went pretty well.
He's a good faker.
Excuse me. I wanted to just remind everyone to, excuse me a second.
Yeah, you're all choked up.
That was a lot of guts saying something about the chairman, you know, so.
That's all right. No harm.
Just wanted to remind all the supervisors to call me, Amanda, Larry, if you have questions about any of the resolutions anytime. Just wanted to remind you that we're always open to talk about anything, you know, coming into the board meeting that you see when you look at resolutions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. County Attorney.
Thank you. Good morning. There are 3 notices of claims that I have not reported yet to the board. The first was filed by a Mr. Joe Kelly. It was filed back in February. It was for a date of loss in November of 2024. It was a claim for a personal injury relating to a trip and fall on a cracked sidewalk 4 Mill Street in Lake Luzerne. The claim was submitted to Travelers and very, very quickly investigated and closed, as it's not a location where the county has any duty, responsibility, supervision, or maintenance over the sidewalk, and Travelers has closed that claim. I mention it because it's a beautiful part of the new risk management efforts that the county is undertaking to limit our exposures going forward with our insurer, and to quickly close claims that we can when we can. The second is a claim that was filed by June Maxim. It was filed with the clerk of the Board of Supervisors. It alleged a date of loss of February 12th of 2025. I cannot really summarize the claim, so I'll read what the claim stated. It alleged an unwarranted invasion on her privacy rights, which caused serious and irreparable harm, including serious emotional distress, by publishing on the internet and sharing her personal and private email address with a third party for marketing purposes without her consent and knowledge, and mandating that she use the Civic Plus software program in order to file a FOIL request. I can tell you that I read from the notice of claim because there is no merit to those claims. Despite there being no merit to those claims, we are still obligated to report that claim to our insurance carrier, which we did. So Travelers has opened a claim and report for this matter. Well, let me withdraw that. They have not opened a claim for this matter because there was no merit to it. We have scheduled a 50H examination for this notice of claim. What that means is, so everyone understands, we have a right to question every claimant on the record under oath. And the county looks forward to doing that on April 18th of 2025. Attending the 50H is a precondition to following up with a future lawsuit. Based on past notices of claim filed by this individual, I anticipate she will fail to appear, fail to take the oath, and fail to answer the questions regarding the claim that she filed with us, which will effectively cancel the notice of claim and make it of no value going forward and no liability risk going forward. This will be the standard practice that I undertake as the county attorney each and every time we receive a notice of claim that lacks what I determine to be any merit in that claim. And so the board is aware. We have forwarded that claim to the law firm of Fitzgerald, Morris, Baker, and Firth. Every single claim that my office receives from Ms. Maxim will go to Fitzgerald, Morris, Baker, and Firth for the defense of the county, as they are best situated to deal with the nuances that Ms. Maxim's claims present when they are filed. The third notice of claim was from a county employee, a Michael Tyrell. It was filed April 1st of 2025. It has to do with employment practices and claims of discrimination and harassment. That claim was submitted to Travelers. Coverage is extended. It was assigned to counsel, and a 50H examination is scheduled for May 23rd, 2025. I bring this to the entire board's attention because it does present an excellent opportunity for us to determine a final version of this employee's beliefs as to what he believes occurred in the course of his employment with the County of Warren, as this employee has provided multiple versions of events on various occasions for the employment practices he claims were discrimination and harassment. Secondly, it's also highlighted the need for the county, in particular, the Director of Human Resources, to work with my office so that we can review the current Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA, policies and procedures, as this employee has multiple FMLA requests that he seeks to use on an ongoing basis. And finally, it's allowing our Warren County Risk and Safety Committee to also participate in that FMLA policy review prior to an updated policy being proposed to the Board of Supervisors. The Risk and Safety Committee did hold an additional meeting last week. I do want to note that the two policies that are contained for the board's consideration today, which are resolutions 160 and 161, were the results of the hard work and efforts of that Risk and Safety Committee. We've continued to have an excellent turnout and participation from our committee members at the monthly meetings. And the meeting that occurred last week focused on policies to address fiscal authority approval in the county, payroll, authority approval. And we'll be starting the process, as I had already mentioned, of looking through and updating FMLA policy within Warren County. The Board of Ethics did have a meeting on April 2nd, 2025. That was adjourned and will be rescheduled for the first available opportunity for the Board of Ethics to meet. And finally, I did want to bring the board's attention to resolutions, floor resolutions 4 and 6. Floor resolution 6 looks to amend the public hearing that was scheduled for today per resolution 9 to address the real property lease agreements for the solar leases at the airport. My office incorrectly provided, and it was in the packet last month, resolution 88, which is the resolution to approve those leases, which was voted on last month, which is why we canceled the public meeting for today. We're asking first for the board to consider resolution number 4, rescinding that approval of those solar leases. And then for resolution 6, to schedule the public hearing so that next month public hearing may occur before the board properly votes upon those amended lease agreements. That's my report for this month, subject to any questions that the board may possess.
Anybody?
Yeah, thank you, Larry. In addition to essentially false claims or claims that lack merit, there's certainly time that's taken away from you and your staff. But how does it work with whether it's traveler's insurance or outside counsel as far as cost of their time? I mean, do we have a retainer with this law firm, and every time that we get a claim that lacks merit, they take so much money out of whatever that total is, or how does that work?
First, I take no issue with any member of the public who has a valid claim, liability claim against the county, filing as required a notice of claim.
Okay. Yeah,
The issue becomes when claims come in that lack that merit, they still have to be defended. And the costs of that defense are paid by the county, either directly or indirectly. My office does not have a budget line for litigation retainers or a law firm on retainer. So we have to retain and pay for that coverage when it's necessary on a claim that lacks merit. Indirectly, if it's paid for by the insurance company and the insurance company assigns counsel, we pay in the form of higher rates because of additional costs that we've incurred. We have some ability to control those costs when we do a direct engagement. We do not have the ability to control those costs as in the same way when the insurance carrier retains the attorney. But either way, it does cost the county money.
Supervisor McGowan.
Thank you. Larry, is there any way, not isolating just out this particular claim, but all claims that a lot of claims comes in and they're, filed with any merit or any, but if it's consecutively, is there any laws out there where we're able to recoup some of the taxpayers' money for this?
That's a question that came up when I first started here about 3.5 years ago, and I have the same opinion that I arrived at about 3 years ago, which is no, there isn't. The only recourse is to highlight when these events occur so the entire board and our general public can become aware of it. Because keeping them unreported and resolving them quietly has not seemed to work in the past.
Amen. Thank you.
Supervisor Drossy.
Yeah, follow-up question, Larry. The 50H hearing that you mentioned, I think you said April 18th.
That's correct.
I assume, can you tell us what time that is, and is that open to the public?
It is not open to the public.
Is it open to the board?
It is not open to the board. But I can update the board following the conclusion of the 50H or the failure of the claimant to show up. And if the claimant fails to show up, we'll renotice her for a second time to give her every single opportunity to exercise her legal rights under this notice of claim and any other future notices of claim that she files.
Thank you. I'm sure the board will appreciate the updates.
Supervisor Burley.
Thank you. Mr. Ellis, how many times
I can't.
do you have to renotice? How many times you have to notice this person? Somebody doesn't show up, how many times do you go back to?
There's no clear answer. It depends on the circumstances, so I would prefer not to give an answer by a straight number. It's certainly going to be more than once. How many more depends on the claimant more than on any other factor.
So if claimant doesn't appear once, twice, whatever, does it finally just be dismissed?
No, nothing happens unless the claimant tries and attempts to initiate a lawsuit by filing it. Because the county's first defense would be that the claimant failed to adhere to the requirements of the statute, which is to appear at the 50H examination despite multiple opportunities to do so. And we incur costs when we schedule that. We have to get a stenographer. Even if there's not a transcript that's produced because the witness doesn't show up, we still have to pay a stenographer for showing up and dedicating that day for this purpose. And we would do that each and every time we notice it.
Right.
So these actions don't come without a cost to Warren County.
That's my point, really.
And I'm not talking staff time, which we absorb. I'm referring to actual expenses that will be paid by this county to other entities in order to complete our legal requirement.
Right, but even though, as you say, it's absorbed, it still takes time away from other more, I would say more important, but at least equally as important matters. So
I would say more important matters. And I wouldn't blush or hesitate to say that there's plenty of important matters that Warren County has on a day-to-day basis that would take a precedent over this particular notice of claim.
thank you.
But they don't, because you have to deal with it.
Okay, we'll go on to reading of communications.
Here's the county auditor's March 2025 real property tax corrections report. County jury board's 2024 annual reporting, Warren County LBC 2024 annual reports, Warren County EDC 2024 annual reports. Fitzgerald Morris Baker for application for real property tax exemption for Resort Hold Co LLC in North Creek. And an email from Elaine Brown with an attached letter from Heidi Hess, Bolton Chamber President, regarding Warren County Resolution number 36 of 2025.
Reading of resolutions.
Proclamations number 17 through 21, resolutions number 138 through 169. Certificate of appointment number 5 and 4, resolution numbers 1 through 6 were distributed to the members of the Board of Supervisors and posted on the county website on April 4th. Proclamations before you are number 17, telecommunications for 18th Life Month. Number 19, Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Number 20, Law Day in Warren County. And number 21, Mental Health Awareness Month. There are 6 floor resolutions that need to be brought to the floor. So a motion on number 1.
Motion approved for resolution number, bring to the floor, motion by Supervisor Wild. Do we have a second? Supervisor Thomas, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 1 is now resolution number 170. Motion to bring floor resolution number 2 to the floor.
Motion by Haley. With a second. Second by Nancy Turner. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Resolution number 2 is now resolution number 171. Motion to bring floor resolution number 3 to the floor.
Motion Supervisor Driscoll. Have a second. Supervisor Casito, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 3 is now resolution 172. Motion to bring floor resolution number 4 to the floor.
Supervisor Etu. Second by Supervisor Bean. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Carried.
Floor resolution number 4 is now resolution 173. Floor resolution number 5 to the floor.
Five. Supervisor Strainer, Supervisor Gilligan. And the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 5 is now resolution 174, and motion to bring floor resolution number 6 to the floor.
Supervisor McGowan, Supervisor Wild, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Floor resolution number 6 is now resolution 175. We need to amend 2 resolutions. The first is resolution number 152. That's making awarding bid authorizing agreement for various bidders for the Warren County 25 highway project. They're passing out the bid card sheets right now. We need to amend that resolution to award to Ekron Road Corp and to the Mel and Sean Incorporated.
Any? Do we need a motion? By Supervisor Connor, do we have a second? Supervisor Mayday? Any further discussion? All those favors signify. Resolution's amended.
Also need a motion to resolution 153. That's awarding bid and authorizing the lowest responsible bidder for application of pavement marking. And that's going to be awarded to Seneca Pavement Marking.
Motion by Supervisor Conover. Do we have a second? Supervisor Diamond. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay. Are there any recusals for any of the resolutions in your packet? Seeing none, we'll go to public comment. Is there any public comment on any of the resolutions? Is there any board comments on any of the resolutions? Supervisor Watt.
Mr. Chairman, I have 3 that I'd like to speak about this morning. The first 2 are pretty straightforward. 141 is the support of Cornell Cooperative Extension. This past week, I had the pleasure of seeing some of the services that Cornell Cooperative provides with helping basically our garden. But the response that we had and the insights and the knowledge that they were able to share was spot on. And I just wanted to give them a shout out to say it's a great process and support that they give the community. 149, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman. I just want to explain why I'm going to vote no. This is about the supplemental occupancy tax funds that go to the town. I know that there's more than enough town supervisors here to override my no vote. But I just wanted to remind everyone that this has now become and also a precedent. We are continually doing this, and it's become to the point where it's expected by the towns to get this supplemental. And what it does is basically limits the county's ability to make strategic investments in our tourism industry. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knew why I was voting no.
It's are you requesting a roll call? Because it's not a roll call vote.
Yes, please. And the third one is resolution 158. This is in relation to the treasurer's office and the creation of a new position. I've had numerous conversations with many on the board. I've had conversations with some of the staff, and I am concerned about another number of issues. But since it also is something that is involving someone's employment or salary, that I believe that we should put that in executive session. So I'd like to make a motion to take 158 into an executive session, and I appreciate a second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Wild to go into executive session. Do we have a second by Supervisor McGowan? You want to read it?
Sure, the basis would be under Public Officers Law, section 105, subparagraph 1F. Matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person. And additionally, I would ask the board whether the county treasurer would be permitted to join in the executive session to address the request that comes out of the treasurer's office.
My resolution for that.
You're okay with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Supervisor McGowan?
Yes.
Okay, the board will be in executive session.
No, to vote.
Oh, we got to vote? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Hey.
Opposed?
You can never buy this.